You are going to such great lengths to help Syraxis regain her memories. And I must say, I don't understand it.
That's a rare admission from you, Belikar. Aren't you usually the smartest one in the room?
Not in this instance. You already know Syraxis' secrets. Why go through all these complicated steps? Why not just tell her?
There is a world of difference between being told about something and experiencing it for yourself. This way, she recaptures those moments, owns them. Yes, it is harder, dangerous even. But she must do this for herself, or she will always be the broken thing Cortifex turned her into.
Well, once she does remember, I only hope she doesn't hate you for it.
It is worth the risk. There is no telling what else she might remember. Perhaps some weakness in Cortifex we can exploit, or some ambition of his yet unfulfilled.
Belikar, we need to discuss Professor Kraft. You seem to understand him better than any of us.
Perhaps because we are both scholars. Is there a problem?
The problem is that he is a scholar, not a warrior. Should he really be leading this effort?
Strange. I never thought of him as leading, more like advising.
He is in over his head.
Hey, if it weren't for him, we'd all still be stuck in our artifacts. Plus, there's a sadness in him that I always find amusing.
It is his history with Von List that concerns me. What if his need for vengeance clouds his judgment?
Ask that question of him, Nordicus, and you may as well ask it of all of us. We all began this in search of revenge, but I have learned from Kraft that true victory is about those we save, not those we kill. And that is perhaps the best reason to let this mortal guide us. Why settle for revenge when you can have redemption?
Tell me, Destroyer, do you ever miss the Nether Wars? I miss their simplicity. Killing, taking ground, never giving it a second thought. But I was different back then. So was I. Though our experiences were as far removed from each other as night is from day. I suppose so. You commanding armies from on high. Me down in the thick of it. Now look at us. Both stripped of rank, branded as traitors, fighting someone else's war. It's always someone else's war. That much I knew from the start. If I cared about anything, it was the soldiers who fought alongside me. And these mortals who now stand at our flanks, do you find yourself starting to care for them? They have proved themselves worthy. Fragile and fleeting though they may be, these humans have heart. They throw themselves into danger, overcoming their fear for a cause far bigger than themselves. I have fought 1,000 battles, but I have never seen anything quite like these humans. Nor have I, Invictor. I thought them all pawns, but inside the dwells the courage of kings.
I'll give you this, mortals. You are clever little things. The traps and the weapons we found here are proof of that. But even if your so-called wonder weapon can strike down 10 enemies at once, there is something you must remember. Weapons do not win battles. Soldiers do. Even the deadliest implements are worthless in the hands of the weak. But in the hands of a trained warrior, the simplest of weapons become tools of victory! Strength and discipline are not enough. You must be clever. You must be crafty. Our enemy is all but mindless. This makes it easy to lead them into that flogger thing, or through the lightning door. They are cattle. Their bloodlust makes them careless. Use it against them. Just never be like them. Keep your wits about you, and you'll always have the upper hand.
Soldiers of Nordicus, you have learned something by now of my career. You know I served Cortifex. You know I oversaw the destruction of the wilds, Verkana's homelands. I did so many terrible things to further the ambitions of a master who did not deserve my efforts. But there comes a time when every warrior must look inward for answers to some basic questions. What am I fighting for? Whom do I serve? Can I live with the mark this will leave upon my soul? And when you find you serve something you do not believe in, you are left with a choice you cannot ignore. You must take the reins of your destiny and do the one thing you swore an oath never to do. You must betray your lord and commander and learn to live with that oath broken, but your soul intact.
Hail, Decimator. When last we marched together, you were an insufferable bootlicker.
Invictor, the Destroyer, you have lost none of your charm.
It pleases me how you have changed, and I do not mean the fact that you are a shield now.
Oh, I understand. I have changed. I was humbled and discarded. Eons trapped in this form have put things in perspective. At least I was able to help recover that tome page. My little contribution to the war effort.
I expect more will be required of you before this is over. But we now have something we cannot squander.
A chance to finally end the scourge of Cortifex. Believe me, I know it. I think of nothing else.
You know that thing you used to do? Decimating your troops for the slightest failure. It was wasteful, but deep down I respected you for it.
Oh, do not. I inspired fear. You inspired loyalty. That was a trick I never quite mastered.
Yes, you have changed for the better. And as for loyalty, you now have mine.
Then let us finish this fight together.